Hi, my lovely student, and welcome to today's lesson. So the YouTube channel which helps you. This is Language Booster TV, the YouTube channel which helps you to learn 3 languages: English, Kinyarwanda, and Kiswahili. Welcome to our live lesson, and I really apologize. So I really apologize for starting this lesson on the unexpected time. So it was expected to start at 2 and 15 to a quarter past 2, but we started after an hour. So welcome to this live lesson. I really apologize for inconvenience you have encountered. So I'm your teacher, Alec Unani. So I'm here to teach you the new lesson live. So feel free, welcome to our live, and feel free to learn today's lesson. As you see on the screen, the lesson of today is English grammar. English grammar. It is about English grammar. The lesson is passive voice. Passive voice. So this, I didn't know that this lesson is one of the most challenging lessons to many students. This is lesson 1. We are going to introduce the lesson. And we will see the basics for passive voice. The basic information you have to know about passive voice. So at the end of this lesson, I assure you that you will be able to know the difference between passive voice and active voice, the structure of passive voice, the basics you need to know about passive voice, and when do we use passive voice. So, dear students, I need to show your interest. Write in the comments and tell me if you are interested in this lesson. So I'm waiting for the students. If you are live to this channel, please write the comment and show me that you are online. Write the comment and tell me if you are ready to learn this lesson. This is very important. And remember that this lesson is the first lesson, and we will have the lesson number 2, where we will go in deep the secret behind passive voice. The secret behind passive voice. If you watch and you learn all these lessons, you will be able to use passive voice correctly, and will be able to do grammar questions related to passive voice, any type of passive voice. So, dear students, I can see 3 students are online. They are watching this lesson. Please type in the comment section. Tell me that we are together, and I will receive your message, and I will welcome you to today's lesson. So this, if it is your first time to reach the channel, please remember to subscribe. Click on bell icon so that you can get notification of the new lesson uploaded to this channel. So you can learn English, Kinyarwanda, and Kiswahili at any level you are. So this is a lesson. Particularly is here to help intermediate and advanced learners. So the beginners, even also beginner can enjoy, but most of the case it aims for intermediate learners and advanced learners. So welcome to today's lesson. I don't want to take too much time. Take too much time. So first of all, let us start. Let us start our lesson of today. Introduction and basics for passive voice. First of all, you can ask yourself, what is passive voice? What is passive voice. What is it? What is passive voice? Yes, you have to know the difference between passive voice and active voice. How does it differ to active voice? So we see also when do we use passive voice. We will see when do we use passive voice. Next, we will see what are the basics information. What are the basic information you need to know about passive voice. Let us dive in the lesson. I didn't know that passive voice is commonly used structure in English grammar in different circumstances. In this lesson, we are going to introduce passive voice and basics about passive voice you must know as I've told you, right? Just as introduction, dear students, active voice is a sentence structure. It is a sentence structure where the subject does the action. The subject that does the action. It is the normal structure of the sentence in general, where the subject starts, then the action, then the object. So, contrary, before we go to passive voice, so the structure of active voice, it is subject, verb, the verb contains the action, and the object, the affected. In other words, there is doer, action, and the affected. All right. On the other side, let us see example of the student studies English. So this sentence is in active voice because the doer is the student, the action is to study, and the affected is English, which is object, right? In this, on the other side, passive voice, it is a kind of a sentence where the object of the action becomes the subject of the sentence. The object comes first, instead of going back over the sentence. In this case, the action is the action is done to the subject. The object is doing and the action is done to the subject. Do you get me, dear students? All right. The structure of passive voice, it is object plus be plus e. The be, it is verb to be is put in any tense. It is put in any tense depending on the tense of the action verb. Right. After verb to be, which is recommended, it is very important. Passive without verb to be is not passive. You got me, Brace? Passive without verb to be is not passive. So passive voice needs auxiliary or helping verb, which is verb to be. After verb to be, the main verb should be in past participle form. Then you add by, then you add pa, the subject, which comes after. We'll go in deep in the next lesson. All right. Let us try to see examples. The student studies English. You have seen that this sentence is in active voice. So when we try to put in passive voice, English is the object. It comes first and is serving as the subject, even though it is object. So English is object which comes in the place of subject. Then we put a verb to be in present simple because the action verb studies is in present simple. Then we add past participle of the main verb, which is study. Then past participle is studied. It is studied. All right. Then by plus the subject. The subject is the student. English is studied by the student. English is studied by the student. So, example number 2, she wrote a letter. She is subject. Verb is wrote. A letter is the object. So when you try to put in passive voice, we start by a letter, then part of verb to be in the tense of the main verb, that is was, then past participle of main verb, it is written, then by her. So she is the subject, but when it comes to objective case, it becomes her. So when you say a letter was written by her, a letter was written by her. That is passive voice versus active voice. Then we can ask ourselves, when do we use passive voice? When do we use passive voice? When do we use passive voice? So before we go to this session, before we go to this lesson, first of all, I need your comments. How is the lesson? Can we go on? Can we go on the lesson? Tell me in comment. I'm waiting for you, dear students. Tell me, how's the lesson? All right, tell me. Tell me the lesson. Is it good? Dear students, tell me. I'm waiting for your comments. All right. Can you give me an example of a sentence in active and in passive voice? Write in the comment example of a sentence in passive and active voice. I'm waiting for your ideas. All right. All right. As I'm waiting for your sentences, let us see, when do we use passive voice? When do we use passive voice? When do we use passive voice? All right. When do we use passive voice? In English, we use passive voice when we don't know the doer, when we do not the person or something who does an action. In other ways, we can say the subject is unknown. The subject is unknown. We don't know the doer. For example, my phone was stolen. My phone was stolen. I don't know the person who stole the phone. That is why I can say my phone was stolen. You cannot say my phone was stolen by someone. No. We don't know the name of the thief who stole the phone. That is why we can say my phone was stolen. He was killed tonight. We really know that he was killed, but we don't know who killed him. We don't know who killed him. That is why we say he was killed tonight. All right. So the next verb is another place where we use passive voice is when the doer is not important. We may know the subject, but we are not interested in it. We don't know, it is not important to mention the doer or the subject. When you say doer, it is subject. For example, the Lord is cleaned every day. We are not interested in the person, you are not interested with the person who cleans the Lord. Rather, we are interested on the result, which is cleaning. The Lord is cleaned every day. We are not interested. The doer, the cleaner is not important. The important is that the Lord is cleaned. All right. He was elected as president. We are interested on the president who is elected, who was elected. We are not interested in the people who elected them, the names of the people who elected the president. Rather, we are interested in the president who was elected. All right. So another place where we use passive voice, it is when we want to talk to be formal or polite. We want to be formal or polite. That's why we use passive voice. For example, your application has been received. It has been received. This one sounds more. This sounds more formal and polite. You are invited. You are invited is formal. Is very formal. All right. So after learning where we need to use passive voice, let us see the basics for passive voice. The basic information you need to know about passive voice. What are these? Number one, to use or to change any sentence to passive voice, you will need the following. Number one, you need to know verb to be in all 12 tenses. This is very important because you cannot put any sentence in the passive voice if you don't know passive the tenses of verb to be, because verb to be should be in the tense of the main verb. Means that when the verb in the main verb is in present simple, verb to be will be in present simple. If the main verb is in past simple, verb to be will be in past simple. So it is very important to master all tenses, especially verb to be in all tenses, in all 12 tenses, in all 12 English tenses. All right, that is the basic information you have to know. So the second information, and I really assure that we are going to see verb to be in 12 tenses. That is a very, it sounds good. It sounds great. It sounds great, right? To know past participle of all verbs, including irregular verbs, is also the second important information you have to know. You have to know past participle of all verbs, especially irregular verbs. Especially irregular verbs. Right. Another important information you have to know is you should be able to identify the tense of the verb. You should know all tenses. So should know to identify the tenses of the verb. So that's why in next lessons about this passive voice, we go in deep every tense, passive in every tense of the verb. In all 12 tenses, we will learn passive voice in all 12 tenses. So you should be able to identify the tenses of the verb. That is very important. The last one is you should be able to differentiate doer or the subject from affected. So when you are doing passive voice, when you are using passive voice, you should know who is doing the action. Number one. Number two, you should know who is being affected by the action of the subject. That is very important. So these are 4 important basic information you need to know before you use passive voice. All right. Another thing, let us learn verb to be in all tenses. Verb to be in all tenses. So we have seen that it is very essential, it is very important to learn this verb in all 12 tenses. Excuse me. It will help you when using passive voice. So let's learn it. Let's learn this tense. The tenses of these verbs. All right. Let us start verb to be in present simple. Verb to be in present simple. Number one, I am. or just am in short form, in contradiction form. I am or just am. You are, or you can say you're. Then you can say he is or his or his. When you say she is or she's, it is or it's, we are or will, you are or you're, and they are or their, right? In present continuous, the verb to be is, in the present continuous, the verb to be is I am being, or just am being. You are being, or just you're being, he is being or he is being. You can say she is being or she's being, you can say it's being or it is being. You can say we are being or we're being. You are being or you're being. They are being or just they're being. Alright. In present perfect, verb to be is I've been or I have been, you've been, he's been, she's been, it's been, we've been, you've been, and they've been. In the present perfect tense, we can say I have been being, you've been being, he has been being, she has been being, it has been being, we have been being, and you have been being, and then next, they have been being. Alright. In the past simple, you say I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, we were, you were, and they were. So in the past continuous, you can say I was being, you were being, he was being, she was being, it was being, we were being, you were being, and they were being. In past perfect, you can say I've been, you've been, I had been, you had been, he had been, she has been, it has been, we had been, it had been, we had been, and you had been, then they had been. In past perfect continuous, you can say I had been being, you had been being, he had been being, she had been being, it had been being, we had been being, you had been being, and they had been being. That is the verb to be in present perfect continuous. Then let us continue with future simple. Verb to be in future simple is I will be, you will be, he will be, she will be, it will be, we will be, you will be, they will be. Alright. In the future continuous, we can say I will be being, you will be being, he will be being, she will be being, it will be being, you will be being, and you will be being, and then they will be being. Alright. In future perfect tense, we say I will have been, you will have been, he will have been, she will have been, it will have been, we will have been, they will have been. The last tense is a future perfect continuous, and we will say I will have been being, you will have been being, he will have been being, she will have been being, it will have been being, we will have been being, you will have been being, and then they will have been being. And remember that he and she and it can be replaced by He can be replaced by the name of one boy. She can be replaced by the name of one girl. It can be replaced by the name of one thing, and they can be replaced by many things or many people. So you have to master that. So when you master the verb to be in all these 12 tenses, it is the best way to master the passive voice. Every passive voice you can do every passive voice sentence when you master the present, the tense of this verb to be. It is very essential to master. So that's what I've been saying. Once you know this verb in these 12 tenses, you have basic to use passive voice in any tense. So in this lesson, I encourage you to watch the next lesson, where we will explore passive voice in each of 12 tenses, and we will see the steps followed to change any sentence in the passive voice. I really know that it is very challenging for many students to change verbs in passive voice. So we shall see the basic, we shall see each tense of these 12, how to change sentences into passive voice. So be ready for the next lesson. I will teach you passive voice. So before we end our live lesson, is there any problem? Is there any problem so far? Write in the comment if you have problem. What challenges you in passive voice? When you are running passive voice, what challenges you? Tell me in the comment. What challenges you? What do you need to know about passive voice? So I welcome you and I invite you to next session of this lesson, passive voice in English. We shall meet in lesson number 2. So be ready for this serial lessons. At the end of these serial lessons, we'll be able to use passive voice effectively. So thank you very much for this moment. I was your teacher Eric Bonani, and this is Language Booster TV, the YouTube channel which helps you to learn English, Kinyarwanda, and Kiswahili. You are free to ask, to suggest, to clarify in the comment, or you can use the WhatsApp number 0728085379. You can chat with us, and you can join our WhatsApp group where we are practicing English, Kinyarwanda, and Kiswahili. So feel free to join and learn together these languages. See you again in the second lesson, in the second part of this lesson, passive voice. All right, see you next time. Bye bye. I love you so much.